Hey, YouTube, welcome in Rockstarflipper YouTube channel, the live show a day early, but that means you guys are getting a double dip, 2 nights of live shows. And the main reason you're getting this live show tonight is because of the gentleman you see on the Google Hangout window.
A day early, but that means you guys are getting a double dip.
That may not know.
The main reason you're getting this live show
Dom,
tonight,
you need to mute your thing.
you see on the Google Hangout window.
Dom.
Because the gentleman you see on the
Dom. Sorry, little technical difficulty. We can hear you through your speakers. You can hear me through your speakers. Give him just a second, guys.
Sorry, little technical difficulty.
Give him just a second.
We can hear you through your speakers.
It's looping. It means it's coming back through your speakers into the microphone and then showing it to me.
All right, what do I got to do to get rid of that?
You need to find a YouTube window that you have open and mute it. Guys, anytime you do a live show on YouTube, make sure all of your windows that you can hear are muted.
That's good. That's good. Sorry about that.
Okay, there we go. All right, we're fixed. Okay, so because of the gentleman you see in the window here, Dom, who I'm going to introduce you to in a minute, you're getting 2 live shows, and this one is super important because probably the biggest problem, and me and him were talking about this the other day, is time management and making the most out of every day. So I want to introduce you to a guy who actually has a hold on time management because you have a full-time gig, right? I want you to not only introduce yourself, I want you to tell everyone what else you do during your day that takes up a bunch of time.
Yeah, I do have a full-time gig. I mean, it's really like 2 full-time gigs pretty much. I work, for those who don't know, at a hospital from 8 to 5 pretty much, sometimes a little longer. As a board-certified neuropsychologist, so I'm seeing patients all day, adults and children, and you know, it's crazy. It's crazy busy, and then I pretty much come home and turn into dad mode, husband mode, and reseller mode, and I'm trying to juggle all those different things together, and also maintain a medical blog and a medical website. I run the medfriendly.com website. I make money through there on through Google AdSense. But I make most of my money through the MedFriendly medical blog, in which people basically pay me to put up blog posts. And so there's a lot of work that goes into that to basically juggling these 3 different sources of revenue that I have.
So the next time somebody sends me a message that starts with, "I don't have time," I'm just going to forward it to your email or inbox and let you handle it. So long story short, this is Dominic. And your last name, do I pronounce it right? Is it Marone or Marone?
No, it's Carone.
I mean, Corone. I'm sorry, Corone. I thought it was Corone or Corone, but I call him Dom. And the first time I ever saw him, what do you guys think I thought of? Everybody knows what I thought of. Has anybody ever called you Dom from Fast and the Furious, Vin Diesel?
No. I used to get Dom Corleone a lot.
Oh, no. The first thing I thought was Dom, and I thought of Dom. You know how in Fast and Furious they always call him Dom? They never call him Dominic. So Dominic Toretto. So they call him Dom, and I always thought of that. And I was like, Vin Diesel. So that's how I think of you.
I love Vin Diesel, so I'll take that any day.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons to love Vin. So that's how I've always thought of him. But it took a little while till I figured out that he's a board certified. He's a doctor. He's way smarter than me, but neuropsychologist.
Psychologist, yeah.
Yeah. So
basically, I mean, a basic description for what that means for people who don't know and haven't heard of it. It's basically a type of doctor who specializes in understanding the relationship between how someone's brain functions and how they think and how they feel and how they behave. So it's like a basic example. If your, elderly grandmother was having memory problems and you weren't sure if it was due to depression, old age, or Alzheimer's disease, you would bring her to see me, and I would do an evaluation and try to sort all that out and figure that out.
Or if you think your resident YouTube rock star is going nuts, please don't take me to see him, guys. So I thought, what better way of going over time management to bring somebody in who actually has to juggle 3, almost 4 different things every day and night. And so I kind of categorize people into 4 categories, and feel free to add to this, and everyone else, in the chat, feel free to add to this. David says, when does he have time to take his kids to sports, do laundry, dishes, clean the house, etc.? I feel like there's a good answer, and I feel like there's a smart answer that I'd get in trouble for answering in that.
No, there's an answer to that question. That's actually an easy answer, because I used to I've been coaching my kids' basketball teams throughout the years. This year I'm not doing it, but the last few years I've been doing that. And I basically have a very simple rule that helps me make these kind of decisions, which is family first. That's my rule. And so if my kids have a concert, that takes priority. If I get less listings done that night, oh well. So, you know, if they have a practice I have to be at, I'm going to be there and I'm going to coach it, and then I'm going to get done. I'm just going to put it in overtime that night. In terms of things like, you know, the laundry, yeah, I do my own laundry and I do it on Sunday nights, and I, you know, maybe don't get to the dryer part, you know, an hour after it washed, but and I have to put it away in pieces. But that's something we'll talk about tonight, which is chunking and doing things in pieces. You can't always get everything done at once.
Yeah, and I'm so glad he brought that up. So there are four. I was just going to say there's four people that I categorize in this kind of world of things. So there's two that don't matter. So one are the people that sleep in every day. They don't get up. They don't do anything. They're not ambitious. They're way over there. And then we've got like the Casey Neistats of the world that sleep like 3 hours a day. They're up at 5. They go for a run till 5:30. They shower at 5:45. They eat at 6. They're already working before anybody else even rolls over. So those kind of two people, you can't help these people, and these people are good. The two in the middle are the ones that are most people that watch me and you and probably qualify as you and a little more me this way. So the first set is people that do get up, they go about their day, and they just kind of glide through the day. They don't go above and beyond. They don't have a heavy schedule. They get stuff done, but it's not like, you know, full on like running around. And then they have you and me, not quite to your level at that much, but we try to squeeze in every little thing we can all day. But the difference between us and like a Neistat, and I feel like this is the difference between a lot of successful people and a lot of people that get really close, but they don't get there. It's jumbled. Like it's not in an orderly fashion, organized, like bang, 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 bang. And I watched the video today that Elon Musk does every single thing he does every single day in 10-minute increments.
Yeah.
He eats in 10-minute increments. He takes phone calls in 10 minutes. His meetings are 10. Every single thing is 10 minutes, and he quits at 10 minutes, period.
Right.
And so I'm not necessarily saying everything has to take you 10 minutes, but everything is blocked off as an individual activity to get done and continue on. And so I think what stops a lot of people from being able to be successful or get to higher levels is they're unorganized and they're really bad at managing what comes first, what's most important, all the way down the line. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be able to prioritize. I mean, you have to figure out what is your main goal you want to get done every day. So for people who are new into reselling or just getting started, you know, a reasonable goal is you want to at least try to get up one listing a day, or maybe 2 listings a day. And you've got to set that as your priority. No matter what other distractions occur during the day, that's got to be the thing that's driving. And you've got to make sure, no excuses, you get that done. Or if something drastic happens during the day and you can't get it done, then you've got to make up for it the next day. Like, you've got to feel almost a sense of guilt, because, you know, if you're really passionate about it, you know, you're going to get after it and you're going to want to get it done. I don't know if you want to add something to that, Casey.
Yeah, I was just going to say a quick hi to Wade's Ventures, who's in the chat. Wade, what up, big Wade? And
up, Wade?
one of my admins, Colleen Gallagher, she's a champ at time management. I spent an entire weekend with her 2 weeks ago, and man, she was up, awake, rolling over, getting stuff done, and just rolling about it. So one of my things with like the day, so this is something I wake up to, and typically I do it at night because, you know, Dom just mentioned the guilt thing. I have a to-do list. Everyone knows I keep a to-do list on my phone. I actually am old school. I have a little notebook I write in a lot too. And if I don't get stuff done, it's always like, you know, I'm laying in bed and I'm like, crap, you know, I have to do this all tomorrow. And now I'm making a to-do list, but now there's still 3 things left over. So now my to-do list is longer. So now I have to work harder to make up for what I didn't do. When I sleep in really, really late, although I love it, which it happens, right, I do feel guilty, like absolutely positively. I'm like, I get up like anxious, like grabbing my phone, grabbing the computer, grabbing stuff. I'm like, gotta go. So that is definitely, so everyone is putting in their self-care. I'm going to talk to you because you're a doctor about that in a minute. But yeah, the guilt feeling is so important. Like without guilt, you you'll get into a routine. You'll just be like, whatever, I slept in. You'll just keep going.
Right. And you have to feel a sense of pressure too. I mean, you know, time is limited. Time is money. And you can't get time back once you've wasted it. You know, you could try to make it up, but once you've wasted it. So yeah, you do have to feel that sense of urgency. There's you know, really there's we talked about sports, and I played sports a lot when I was younger, and my kids are involved in sports. There's actually a lot of comparisons to reselling at sports. In sports, we talk a lot about, especially in basketball, you need to play with a sense of urgency. And it's the same thing with business. I mean, you have to have a sense of urgency that you're trying to get things accomplished. You have to have overarching goals, big goals, small goals that you're going after every day that you have your mindset on.
And so like, okay, so that's kind of like my bills. Like I know they're coming every day. I have an insane amount of bills. I've built a life that just costs a lot of money, and it's my own fault. But like every day, I have a list too, actually. And this is something that I can show everyone, and I'm not afraid at all to show everyone. So this is literally a list of every bill that I have, and every day that it's due. And do you see how I star it off? And so as the bills and the days come, I know how much money I have to hit by every single day.
Yeah.
And so as I pay it, I put a little star as we pay it all the way down. And so it's my thing. It's like my to-do list. Like today's bills are X. Here's what I have to do to make that money, and here's what I have to make. And so yeah, the pressure is really good for me. That's how I operate. Some people don't operate good with pressure, but if you don't, you should learn to, because pressure, and call it stress, whatever you want to call it, pressure for me is exactly how I, like, when I know that I'm down to like the last day or 2 days, and Dom can vouch for this. Just before the live show, I was like, I got to make a deposit at the ATM, which is like right at my neighborhood. And I was like, I got 22 minutes pressure, and ran to there, ran back.
I joked it would have been bad to be late for the time management show.
Yeah, to be late to our own time management and being on time show would have been terrible. But I took it. I'm like, listen, I'm under pressure. I got this. So
yeah,
yeah. So setting to-do list, putting pressure on yourself. And I see a lot of people. This is one I wanted to ask you about. I don't think I've ever asked anyone about this. So let's say that your goal for the month is like $3,000. I don't know, just throw a number out there. And you hit the $3,000. Let's say you hit it at like the 25th, and you got like 5 days left, 6 days left in the month. A lot of people, you know exactly what they do. They relax, they stop, they just, and so that's something that I'm kind of bad at. Like if I have a really good day or a really good week, I kind of like go out and relax or sleep or spend money. And like, it's not just hitting a number, it's continuing to go up. And so talk about that a little bit, because I'm bad. I'm really guilty of that.
I don't think that's bad though, Casey. I think that's good, because you do need to, you said people have mentioned this. I glanced over at the chat. I saw people mention self-care. Part of self-care is having fun and doing things that you enjoy. And I say to my wife all the time, what the heck am I doing all this work for if I'm not going to enjoy it sometimes? So if you're hitting goals, it's fine to delay gratification, but once you hit that goal, then go enjoy it and have some fun and go out and do those fun things. I mean, you've got to live it up, So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I do the same thing.
I mean, we went, we left 2 weeks ago to go to St. Augustine. We did go thrifting, but it wasn't a business trip. Let's be honest. It wasn't a conference or like, and although Colleen turned it into a business trip and bought like $100 worth of stuff that was worth like $2,000. I mean, cheers to her. But I didn't treat it like a thrifting trip. I treated it like a boys trip. But and we had Sydney here this week, and we kind of took some nights off and stuff, and I slacked a little bit, and I had a good month. So
but you know what? You also, because I watch you on social media channels, you were still making time to put up videos.
Yep, we did. We made sure that because she was here, it was collab time, it was video time. We went to the yard sale Saturday and killed it. So we did get some work done. I mean, I would say I get undisciplined sometimes, but I'm certainly not like, there's not going to go a day where I'm not going to do nothing, like absolutely nothing. Like it's not in my DNA. Like
me and you would probably explode if that happened.
It would drive me insane.
Does not compute.
Caddo Creek Traders in the house. That is Mr. Trey Whitlock from Dallas. What's up, Trey? He wants to know, do you write down your goals every day? So I do, like I just showed you guys. I write down, I have a bill list for every month. And then each day I put a to-do list together. It's just in my notepad. I mean, you guys have notepads, whether you have an iPhone or Android. And I literally just take down like a daily to-do list. And then I delete it off the to-do list, or I star it, or what have you. There's a check line through. And so I go through this list every day, and I update it every day. And that's how I operate. I have a little notebook I write into sometimes. But Do you have like this list, or what do you operate?
No, I used to. It really depends on the situation. For example, I never would have got through college without a list like that. I mean, I had a portable notebook I lived on. I carried that thing around all the time. I knew exactly what I was going to do every single moment of the day, had all my assignments, everything planned out. So it really depends on the situation. But for me, my current situation, my day's pretty much laid out for me. I know I have to be at the hospital from 8 to 5, so that's where I'm going to be. Now, I should certainly have tasks within there that I know I have to accomplish, but when I get home, I know pretty much what I need to do. I need to get listings up. I need to get orders out, and pretty much what happens, around that, I get orders that come in, like, an order for some blog posts. Then I got to put those up, because that's money on the table. I got to get that up. So really, I do have some things I write down. I write some little notes. I jot down some things I need to do. I'll email myself, some things once in a while that I know I have to get done, that they're priority. But not to I don't do it to the extent that I used to do it, but I still write things down every once in a while. I mean, the one thing I would mention about writing down lists that I think could sometimes cause people problems, even though it's good generally to do a list, is sometimes people could get locked into the list that, in other words, I have to do X from 9 to 10. Well, then at 9:30, when the dog has an accident in the house, or you get a call that Johnny's sick in school and you have to go pick him up, or you get a crazy email from a family member that now you have to go address. Well, now that throws you off your schedule. And now what? You have to be able to readjust and reflex your schedule. So that's really, really important. You have to be able to adjust.
Absolutely perfect point. And I didn't even hit on that, but my life is a complete disaster. Everyone that knows me personally and met me and saw me and stayed here knows my life is like nothing goes to plan ever, right. Ever. Like somebody up there, I'm not saying they don't like me, but they just want to challenge me. That's what I always say. Right. So, that's constant for me. I'm like, hey, okay, so actually perfect example, and I'm not going to be afraid to say it because everyone already knows. I used Kate's SUV yesterday for something. We have an SUV in addition to my car. It's Kate's. And she took my car because I didn't get home in time for her to be somewhere. My car broke down. The i8 broke down with Kate driving it. And so I had to get to the bank before 5 o'clock. I had to get to the post office before 5 o'clock. I had to get home to get the packages to drop off at the post office because we lost our pickup at USPS. That's a whole nother story. And so it's like 3 o'clock. And I had to go get Kate from where she broke down, call the tow truck driver, wait for the tow truck driver, drive back, go back to the post office, go to the house, get the packages. It was a complete wreck. And that's like just right on par for every day of my life. So.
Right. And once in a while, you're going to get a day like that where just everything absolutely goes wrong, and you're just, completely overwhelmed. And sometimes, like in extreme situations like that, it's interesting. It's almost paradoxical in that the more crazy it gets, the more I'll just purposely just try to stay calm and stay relaxed, because I know if I don't, I'm going to unravel. Like, I'll actually just laugh and just say, I can't believe how many ridiculous things are happening right now. And just got to tell yourself, listen, I'm just going to do the best I can with the rest of this day and regroup tomorrow. Don't let what happened today, which was a terrible day, to ruin the next one. It might ruin that day, but the next day you got to get yourself back on your feet, dust yourself off.
And so, that's perfect. Kathy Bull asked a really great question about that, about the highs and lows of your day or the week. Like, as you have really good days and really good, bad days, how you push through it. She just also asked, how did I lose my USPS pickup? We schedule it online, and you can schedule it up to 30 days out. So technically you can schedule pickups for a month. We had an awesome dude that was like on point. And now we got a guy that doesn't speak English. I'm not kidding. I'm not making fun of anyone. He literally doesn't speak English. I've been unable to convey to him that he's supposed to be stopping and picking up. So I have to go up there and tell the postmaster, Karen, who's lovely. I think Karen watches my videos. If you do, hi, Karen. As soon as I remind her, she'll figure out some way to tell him to stop. But in the meantime, we've been having to drive our packages to the post office every day, which sucks. Technically, but we'll get that back. No big deal. But to address your other question, Kathy, the highs and lows of the day. So that's my day. You guys have seen the little meme. I know Dom has the roller coaster of the entrepreneur's day, like, woohoo, made a sale. Oh my God, return. And then woo, like up and down. I used to experience that a lot. Now it's not so much. Like, when I have a bad day, it's kind of like I didn't sell anything. Nothing went out on Amazon. Nothing went out on eBay. Like the sales are bad. Maybe the YouTube views are bad. Maybe nobody's emailing me asking for stuff. Nobody's social media interacting. And so those are kind of just like a go along day, like just along the board. And then if good stuff happens, great. There's never really a bad day for me. Like if I get a return, it sucks, but I'm not really like all devastated about it. If something gets lost in the mail, it happens. I mean, it's $10, it's $20. It's, I don't sell $300 items. I suppose if I lost a $300 item, I'd be a little upset. Or if I damage something, yesterday was like the worst day I've had. The car breaks. It's under warranty. It's being fixed, but it's still obnoxious. Like I had to drive in a million directions to catch up with everything. And, they didn't have any rental cars at BMW. So we're at one car. Thankfully, we both work from home, so we're okay. It doesn't matter. I could have went and borrowed cars from anybody I wanted, but it just annoying little things for me. I don't have devastating days anymore. I don't know if you have like really bad days or.
I mean, I think everyone has a really bad day once in a while, but I mean, in terms of like, with regards to, sales on eBay, for example, I know you saw recently, I actually put up a video on my Instagram account where I talked about how I had a day. It doesn't happen often, but I had a day where I literally had no sales.
Zero.
None.
Yeah, zero.
None. Zero. And I did not panic because I knew that that's just part sometimes of the up and down roller coaster of eBay. I've been doing this long enough that I know that. If I was brand new, maybe I'd be a little more worried about it. Next day, 7 sales. Now, don't get me wrong. If I went 5 days with no sales, I know I have a problem I have to address. But don't make extreme changes in your routine and freak out because either you had a great day and then make some rash decision based on that, or make a rash decision based on, now, I had one bad day, I'm going to lower everything by, 35% in terms of my prices. Don't do that.
Don't do that. No, do not panic.
Right. Absolutely.
The old saying, don't look down, don't panic.
Right.
Just a quick one, RVA Flips, which we love RVA Flips, $2 for my rental GoFundMe. BMW covers my rental, but they were literally, like everyone's car broke down this week. They were out of rentals. Not even kidding, like out of rentals. And Melissa Vasquez, thanks for helping us all learn Vasquez Vintage on eBay. If you guys want to spend some money, go check out Melissa's store. Also, Dom just mentioned it, but if you want to follow him on Instagram, it is Primetime Treasures, and it has 2 underscores. So Prime_time_treasures. Check it out. Screenshot this. Pause the video.
Hey, yeah, I do have to mention one thing because I wanted to be Primetime Treasures with an S at the end.
Yeah.
But there is actually no S. So I always tell people that. I always say no S because I don't want people to look for the S. And that's
so the Primetime Treasure is no S. It's 2 underscores, and don't add the S. That's like, what is that old, what was that movie like? Add the A, drop the T, dot the I. So Primetime singular treasure.
Yeah.
And 2 underscores. So you guys can just screenshot my my screen, pause it, and go look him up. You'll find him. I'll also do a shout out on Instagram. So you guys, I actually did put it on there and tagged him. So you could go to my Instagram also, and he's tagged on there. So so hopefully get a bunch of viewers from that. I'm going to look through the chat. I'm going to have you guys ask a few questions, and then we're going to go over. I sent him a, like I always do for live shows, like a little layout of what we should talk about. We kind of did like, why it's so important and how to make a schedule, to-do list. Long-term versus short-term to-dos. And I want to add a second part of that. When you do make to-do list, like he said, don't get stuck on it, that it doesn't always work out from start to finish that way. But also don't make a to-do list that's 640 things long when you know you can only get 100 things done a day. We call that ambitious. And ambition is great, but over-ambition is real bad because you'll depress yourself. Trust me, I was guilty of it every day. I'm like, today I'm going to build the World Trade Center back up. Well, I pretty much got to like groundbreaking every day, and every day I was mad at myself. So don't make a list that's ridiculous, that you're never going to get done. You'd rather, under promise, over deliver to yourself.
Set realistic goals.
Yes. And so long-term versus short-term. All of my goals are daily. I have a couple of things that are like, okay, so I have a project working right now that somebody wants me to do some videos and some editing for them and a product and all this. It's probably a week or 2 out, and that's probably the longest term goal that I have. Obviously, I have a goal like, hey, in 2019, I'd love to make like $1 million, whatever. But, like realistically, all of my goals are daily sometimes 2 days, and maybe 1 or 2 that are like a week or 2 out. Do you do like short term? Do you do long term? Do you do both?
I have both. I mean, my short-term goals really just they're pretty boring. They just relate every day to getting listings done and, making sure I prioritize the orders, make sure I get them out on time because I have 1 day handling and, and shipping. And, but in terms of long-term goals, yeah, I definitely have long-term goals. I mean, it's ironic. I'm sitting here doing an interview with you right now because earlier this year, one of my goals was to start a YouTube channel. And you were a huge influence in that. I wanted to see if I could get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I did that a little bit early. So I feel happy to accomplish that. Another goal was to start a Facebook group, which you also influenced that.
4,000 members.
4,000 members and over 250 videos in less than a year on the YouTube channel.
Wow.
So. And that's another thing I want to point out, which I was talking about earlier. You just got to find time to get it done. People who watch my channel know I am sitting in this chair at 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes, or 3 o'clock in the morning with my eyeballs feeling like they're going to pop out of my head because I'm trying to get a video done, and I promise myself I get one done. So, and
hashtag YouTube life.
Yeah, and I got to be up sometimes at like 6:30 to get ready to go to work. So, and sometimes I'm literally like racing out the door, barely getting to work on time.
Rockstarflipper observes 6 o'clock a day, and that is not it.
I'm trying to do that less, but it's happened. It's happened many times. So, but there's just so much time in a day, and that's where we get back to earlier. That time's precious.
Yeah. Time management, and you can't get time back. You look, all you need is one look. You can't have time back. So I want to know in the chat, and I want people who watch this later who are not on the live show, if you're not watching this at Wednesday, November 14th between 9 and 10 o'clock, to leave it in the comment section below. Put some goals there. And this is what I tell people to do. So anybody who's a part of my VIP group or even the regular group, we do accountability sheets. We have a spreadsheet. And if you haven't done this in your group, or if you don't have a private group, you can create one or whatever. Everyone puts their name down. They put, like I just put my initials, RSF, Rockstarflipper, whatever. And I put down like 8 things for the week. They're week goals. And so each day it's like, new eBay listings or new Poshmark cross posts or YouTube videos posted or comments replied to or whatever it is. You can have 5, 6, 7, whatever. And you put that next to your name. And then on Monday, you'll have 7 columns. You're good with spreadsheets, I'm sure. So 7 columns, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you guys don't need to be a part of a VIP group or a private group. You can do this on your own if you know how to use Excel. Column 1 is just your name. Column 2 is the goal. And then column 3 is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And at the end, it'll have a total. It'll add up your number from the whole week, from all Monday through Sunday columns. And then at the end, we'll have a goal. So let's say that your goal is to list 10 items a day on YouTube. So the end column will say 70. And then each day you'll fill in how many that you've put up new listings, and then it's going to total it up, and it's going to tell you that you hit your goal or you didn't hit your goal, etc. And the reason that we do it together, now doing it privately, people slack off. They don't update it. They don't keep up with it, whatever. But when you do it in a group, and we do it in our VIP group because it's more private, we probably have like 20 people on there, and everyone else can see it. You're now accountable because you've put that goal at the beginning of the week that I'm going to list 100 new items on eBay. And if at the end of the week you have like 5 new items listed, guess what everyone's going to look at you and say? Like, no one's going to belittle you and be like, hey, you suck at life. But they're going to say, hey, you only put up 5 new items. You really need to get with it. And if you know that, you're going to push yourself to put up those items and make sure that that goal is filled in. And so if you don't do it now, do it. At least do some sort of this accountability on your own. If you can get with a group of people, or you got a friend or a sister, or you're friends with Vin Diesel or whatever, put an accountability sheet together. It's super easy. If you need help with one, email me at rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I have the blank one saved, so I can kind of just forward it to you. You can save it and edit it as you want. Accountability is really, really important, and it helps everyone in our group. And Colleen is a part of it, and anyone who knows Megan Mawhinney, who has like 4,000 active listings, she's a part of it. And so you're certainly welcome to join my group. You don't have to. You can go into Dom's. He's got awesome people in there, or do it on your own. Either way, I'm just thinking that accountability for anyone, even for myself, you guys don't know, but one of my biggest like pluses to my accountability is that, and this is a secret, Rockstar secret. Everyone get ready. I tell everyone else what I have to do every day and what I have to get done and when I have to get it done. And I make sure that everyone in my life kind of like, hey, did you go to the bank? Hey, did you go to the post office? Hey, did you get done those listings? Hey, that bag of clothes is still sitting there. Literally, I get it from every direction. And that's how I draw my motivation, is when everyone else around me is reminding me and pushing me and throwing it on me. I'm self-motivated. There's no one that'll tell me I'm not ambitious, self-motivated. But at the same time, when other people are like looking at me and giving me a hard time about it, I get insanely upset and angry. But my anger comes out in me finishing the task. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's just how, that's the secret Rockstar formula, I guess. I don't know. Is that crazy?
No, I mean, you got to find whatever it is to motivate you. You know, you've got to have a target to keep you going. You got to have something that makes you hungry, you know, that drives you every day, you know? So, you know, for me, one of the things that helps drive me and motivate me are seeing other people who are really successful at what they're doing in a certain area. And, you know, that's something to kind of try to model yourself after and pattern after. So yeah, while I, know a lot about what I'm doing in neuropsychology, this whole thing about, social media and YouTube channels and Facebook groups, as you know, from how this video started off tonight, is new to me, and I'm still getting used to it and trying to learn it, but I love the challenge. It's a challenge. And, I want to, be as best as I can at it. And it's just a goal of mine to just keep getting better.
So I'm going to put you on the hot seat because I just thought of like a couple quick questions. So one, so this challenge is nowhere near what you went through in medical school.
Well, I don't want to give anyone a wrong impression. It was graduate school. So I have a PhD. I don't have an MD.
Okay. So you still put in 6 years?
Yeah. A lot of time. Yeah.
2 through the AA and then 4 years for
the graduate. It was it's 4 years of graduate school, a 1-year internship, and a 2-year postdoctoral fellowship.
Wow, so 7 actually. 7.
A lot of time. Okay,
so it's still not a challenge based on those 7 years. Okay. But how old were you when you started that? Were you right out of college?
Yep.
Like right out of high school into college?
Yep.
Okay, so 20, 22, 24.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your daily scheduling motivation like back then?
Well, okay, it's interesting. So when I started in college, and I don't mind admitting this because I wound up turning it around. When I went to college, I was a C student in high school. I barely got into college, okay? Not because I wasn't smart, but because I wasn't really applying myself back then. I was not motivated by my teachers in high school. When I got into college, I went to a Jesuit school here in Syracuse, New York. I was really motivated by the intelligence of the professors. I felt they really knew what they were doing, and I wanted to turn myself around. And I really applied myself, and time management was crucial to that. I didn't have a lot of confidence in my abilities to succeed academically, and so I really had to put a great time management plan in place to address those insecurities. And I did that, and I wound up graduating from a Jesuit school summa cum laude, which basically means almost an A in every single class the entire time. Same thing with graduate school. So yeah, I mean
you got an Orangeman shout out over there.
Yeah. So I didn't go to Syracuse University. I went to Lemoyne College, which is a small Jesuit school right here in Syracuse. But I am a big Syracuse fan.
Yeah,
we root for them all the time. But so my schedule back then was crazy. I mean, it was I lived academic life. I mean, I was constantly reading and studying.
Yeah, and no offense to anyone like that might be in this age range, but at 21 and 22. We didn't know nothing. We weren't motivated at all. None of us were motivated like we think we were. We thought we were, but we weren't. In comparison, I have an AA. I went to college from 18 to 20, and that's all I did. I'm not the school guy. I never had an intention to be a doctor, lawyer, or anything of this sort. I went to business school at the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. Golden Retrievers, they knocked out Virginia #1 last year in the NCAA tournament, if anybody remembers that. First 16 seed to ever beat a 1 seed. Anyways, that's all. Yeah, that's all I ever did. So 2 years, 20 years old, dropped out, year in Maryland, moved to Florida. And so that's all I got. I didn't know nothing at 21 years old. So.
Yeah, but everyone's life takes different paths depending on what they're interested in. And your you know, obviously one of the most successful resellers in social media. I mean, so, you know, everyone takes their own path, and you have your, like you posted on your Facebook group today, you know, I'm sitting in my office for 8 hours, okay, behind a computer. You're sitting there with your feet up on a table in the sunshine doing social media and reselling work. So,
True.
you know, who really took the smarter path? I don't know.
You know, he put me on the spot there. A PhD or MD sound. I just want some letters behind my name. That's all. Terry, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. Terry is always here. Super good supporter. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to open it up to questions. I think we covered everything that I wanted to cover. You guys, I want to do it before we get closer to the end, but just below is Dom's YouTube channel. He has put in the time. You heard him, what his schedule's like on a normal day. So for him to be able to take the time till 4 in the morning when your eyes are bulging out to post videos, I mean, in less than a year, I don't even think it's been 12 months, 240 videos, 230, 240
now. I think it's
260. Wow. Yeah. So that shows you how much I keep up on Social Blade. He's over 1,300 subscribers. Let me pull up his Social Blade here.
1,360 the last time I looked.
Yeah, so that's impressive because, guys, I don't know if you know, I always tell the story. It took me 7 months to make a single dollar off YouTube, which was never the intention, or I wouldn't have stuck around for 7 months. But I don't know that I think it took me 7 months, or it took me 6 months to hit 1,000. And then if you look over on my YouTube page, if you go to my YouTube page and you click the About Me screen, I have the dates of how long it took me to hit 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. 25. So you can see that it took me every bit of 6 or 7 months to hit that. And so Dom didn't create his channel until October 3rd, 2017. So yeah, it's been just over 1 year. 12 months, 263 uploads, not counting how many times you've been on other people's channels.
Yeah, right. But I might, it's true, I might have created in October, but I did not put my first video up until like the very end of December.
Oh, so there you go. So even if we take that away, that's 26 videos a month, not including the social media, the group that you're maintaining that's now 4,000 members, and being on other people's channels. So that shows
and thanks to you jumping on Instagram.
And Instagram. Welcome in. So a lot of people always message me. I get it a lot. I get a lot of emails. And as you grow, you'll get them too. About time management, about, you know, like, you know, I have a death pile with 1,000 items, or I work a full-time job. I can't get X listed. I can't do this. I can't do that, whatever it is. And I always tell people, I'm like, listen, I'm very sympathetic, especially to people with families and kids and things of that nature. If you're single and you're laying on your couch all day, I'm not sympathetic to you. Sorry, just the way it is. But if you've got kids, if you've got a family, if you've got a full-time job, absolutely understand 8, 10, 12 hours out of your day is gone. You got to sleep 6 or 8 hours. So that only leaves you a few hours, but it can be done. There's your perfect example. Exhibit A, that guy right there can tell you. I don't have any excuses. If I ever came to you guys and said I wasn't getting stuff done, I caught myself. See YouTube, I caught that. If I wasn't getting stuff done, I would have no excuse. You know, somebody like Dom there, he has a full life ahead of all this. So if you want to email me and you have a full schedule, maybe Dom is somebody, you know, in his group or his YouTube channel that you could grow more inspiration on, because my life is a lot different than his. I wake up in the morning and it's like, what do I want to do? He wakes up in the morning and he's like, what do I have to do? So there's two different sides to it. James Clemens, thanks for the super chat, bud. I appreciate that. But anyways, it's going to be linked below. You'll see his YouTube channel. The Facebook group, I'll grab the link. I didn't grab it now. I will grab it, and I'll link it for you guys as well. Anything else, though, feel free to ask questions if you want to ask Dom now while you got him. If you want to email him, message him, YouTube him, Facebook him, whatever, later you can. But if you're in the chat right now, go ahead and open it up, and we'll see some questions come through. We'll ask him, and if there's anything else that you, sir, want to add, by all means, I'll shut up and let you handle the rest.
I mean, one thing I'll definitely add, because I think it gets a bad rap, and I don't think people totally understand it, and it's not that everyone doesn't totally understand it, but some people don't, is the whole concept of multitasking. And it gets a bad rap because people think that multitasking literally means that you're doing two things at the same time. And it does mean that in some instances, but it also means doing two things serially. So in other words, you're going back and forth between two tasks. I do a lot of that during the day, and it helps me accomplish like little mini goals between multiple tasks, sometimes 2, 3, 4 tasks that I have going on at the same time. I get a little bit of this one done, a little bit of that one, a little bit of the next one. That technically is multitasking. Now, the bad thing about simultaneous multitasking, when you're doing 2 things at the same time, where people will say don't do that in terms of time management strategies, that's true if you're doing 2 things at the same time that are very cognitively demanding. So, if you're trying to list at the same time that, put a listing together at the same time you're trying to hold a conversation with somebody over the phone, that's going to be pretty challenging. But if you're trying to list at the same time you're uploading a YouTube video or listen to a YouTube channel to pick up reselling advice, that's different. You have one task that's somewhat demanding and the other one that's kind of, you're going through the motions. You're packing up packages, you're getting your shipping order ready. You know how many Rockstarflipper videos I've listened to while I've been packing?
I just got that question in the chat too. Like, what is effective multitasking? So people ask me if I listen to YouTube videos, and I listen to all kinds of them. Notice I said I listen to YouTube videos. I know, like, if I'm watching an entertainment video, I need to see it. But if I'm listening to Dom or Wade or somebody talk, or Steve or whatever, I just kind of really need to listen. I know what you look like. You look like Vin Diesel. I can picture it. So as long as I can hear it, I'm sorry, guys, too. I'm sniffling my nose. Excuse me. But I listen to stuff while I'm, packaging or listing, listening and listing is hard because I'm trying to think what I'm typing. So that's a little difficult. But if I'm editing a video or uploading or what have you, and I'm waiting on stuff to process or export or whatever, I can sit and respond to emails all day. I can, go through eBay and edit prices and edit changes and have the video minimized in the background listening to that. There's a million things I can do. Somebody's calling me at 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to ignore that. If one of you is trolling me, by the way. Anyway, so effective multitasking is things that don't interrupt with each other that allow you to get both done at a time. If you're trying to focus on the description box or the title, focus on that. Don't try to interrupt yourself. Listening to YouTube videos is the question I get all the time. What other stuff do I do? I guess like driving. If I'm driving from thrift store to thrift store or place to place and I have phone calls to make, I'll make the phone calls in between. So, I sometimes I have to call, maybe somebody wants to do a video with me and I want to call them. Maybe I need to call the bank because something happened with my card or X or Y or Z or whatever. So that, those are sort of things that you can do. In the thrift store, I'm capable of having a phone conversation and flipping through shirts. Like, I can do that. I can sit here and just flip. And so that's something I do quite often, actually. There's all kinds of effective multitasking. Spreadsheets are something I can't do. If I'm on a spreadsheet, I have to be focused on the spreadsheet. So kind of separate those tasks into what you can do and what you can't. This person's called me like 5 times. Jeez. Somebody in this chat is like trolling me. They Googled my phone number or something. RVA flips for some damn cold medicine. Yeah, I need some medicine. I need to take something. I'm not feeling. I never get sick, but I always have this weird runny nose thing going. So, yeah. One listing, have the TV on in the background. Yeah, somebody said they had us on like a 50-inch. Me and Kate were just at the store looking at a 70-inch for like $700. TVs are cheap. Does anyone know? I know this is so random. Has anybody been TV shopping lately?
I got a 4K.
Yeah, we just looked at a 4K 70-inch. I think it's an LG for like $798 or something.
Yeah.
What?
We did this. Actually, we did that. We got the LG. Then I got the LG 4K DVD player. So perfect, right?
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know that you actually have to have the thing to play the 4K in order to see it in 4K.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to get a new DVD player.
Well, let me tell you first world problems, and I am so embarrassed to say this, but okay, so we have a big TV in our living room, and we have like an okay size TV in our bedroom, but a lot of we don't watch TV. We just don't. And we watch Netflix at night when we go to bed, or I like play PlayStation or whatever. That's like my wind down, like laying in bed, go to sleep thing. And so we're going to buy a new TV. Neither of our TVs are smart. Neither of them. If I want to watch Netflix or Hulu, we turn on the PlayStation. And so I'm going to buy a new TV, 4K, smart TV, whatever. And so obviously what makes sense is to put it in the living room because we have the PlayStation in the bedroom that plays Netflix and all that. So we need the smart TV out there. But we don't watch TV out there. So why would we put the new nice TV out there? We should put it out there and then move the PlayStation into the living room, right? Well, that makes sense. Except how do I play video games or watch stuff in bed at night if the PlayStation is in the living room? So we can't figure out how to make this logistically work. And this is first world problems.
Right.
Time management and multitasking.
Yeah, well, you know what though? Part of time management is you got to think, how much time is it taking me sometimes to walk from one room to another for the same task I'm doing every day? Am I how much time over the course of the year will I save from walk? I actually used to do this. I used to get up when I first started doing this, walk into another room to get a tape measure to measure my packages, and then put it back because that's where the spot was. Then I learned, just get another tape measure, put it right next to me on the couch when I do my measurements, and I'm going to save myself a lot of time. Like these small little things all add up.
We lose our tape measure. The one tape measure in the whole house can never be found. Or we're the people that you see the meme, like I'm taking one trip from the grocery store in from the SUV. I will get everything in one. Listen, I'm that guy. Like go. I don't have time. I just carried the dogs. So whenever we go into the bedroom at night, the dog's food bowl and water bowl goes from the living room into the bedroom because we lock them in the bedroom at night so they're not wandering free. And, I carry the water bowl, the food bowl, the bag of treats, the laptop under this arm, the microphone. I'm all like this walking into the bedroom.
Right.
So be smart about it, but make the most out of every minute. Time management is all about making the most out of the little bit of time that you have. So, it just makes sure you don't waste any time. And whether it's work or whether it's family or friends or YouTube or going out or whatever it is, make the most of every moment. Like that's really my lesson for you guys tonight.
The other thing kind of related to that I would say is also make the most of your downtime. When I say downtime, I don't mean relaxing time. I mean, if you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to be stuck with nothing to do, try to plan for that in advance and bring something to do to accomplish. Like if you're going to be, you're going to go to the car dealership and you may be stuck there for an hour or two, bring something to do to work on, like pack your laptop and work on a project or get listings done.
I feel like that's a jab at the broken down IE.
No, I didn't mean that.
No, he's good. Yeah. I do actually take my laptop to BMW when I'm stuck there. I do. Yeah,
but
good point.
Yeah, and also breaking down big goals into smaller goals. I mean, we talked about that a little bit, but that's really important. Like I give you an example, and trust me, I'm not trying to plug these in any way because I don't want anyone to purchase them or read them at all. But over the last couple of years, I published 2 books. They're academic books. That's why I'm saying don't pick them up. But the way I accomplished both of them is different, but I used time management strategies to get them done because there was no way I could fit it in. So this one here, I literally, this one right here, I was stuck basically in a gym for a couple hours a week with my son's basketball practice he was having. I was not coaching at the time. So I could either drop him off. I had a choice. I could drop him off 15 minutes away from home and then go home and try to do a little bit of work on the book and then drive back to pick him up, which is another 15 minutes or wasting like 30 minutes. I said, you know what? I talked to the coaches. I said, could I just sit in here? I won't bother anyone. And I'm just going to bring my laptop and work on these chapters. And these practices were like almost every day during the week. I literally wrote my contributions to this in a gym.
Wow.
And this one here, which you could see, this one just came out in October. This one's much smaller. It's a thinner book. But this one, my goal was work on a page a day. Get a page a day. Now, page a day doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's academic stuff, you got to put references and things like that in. But my goal, I had a plan, I had a contract with a book publisher, Oxford, to get it done within a year. So they gave me a deadline. So I had that deadline, and I said, I got to stick to that 1 page a day. And sometimes I'd get 2 pages done or 3 pages done. So now I had to jump on it. So,
and in his spare time, ladies and gentlemen, he published 2 books for Oxford. Hashtag mic drop.
One for Oxford, one for Springer. But I'm doing that.
Oh, sorry, Springer.
But I'm doing that right now, actually, for reselling. Like I'm trying to put together a reselling book on bolos. So and so that's what I'm doing. I'm like trying to, I'm taking like small little steps each day to try.
Meanwhile, somebody asked me to write a book from top to bottom, like how to start an eBay account from turning your computer on all the way to transferring the money to your bank account. And I'm like, look, I don't even know if I could get the first page done, guys. Like, I should maybe hire someone. I don't know, but maybe you're
But my
available.
point is, like, these massive things, like these big goals that you could have for yourself, you could get them done. I'm saying this stuff to try to inspire people and motivate people, because you could get these things done. Like I said earlier, again, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I graduate high school with a C average. Okay. I mean, so it's not about always how smart you are. It's about, how much motivation do you have, and could you put together a good time management plan, and are you passionate, and do you have goals that you could set that are concrete that you could just go after?
And you know what, there's no better motivation than, like, when you set the goals and you have, realistic. I mean, publishing 2 books is ridiculous. What is wrong with you? But I'm just saying, no one has to publish a book. If you want to publish a book, by all means, I'll be happy to shout out your book on the way the brain works.
No, don't get it. You'll be bored to death unless you want to try to fall asleep. I mean, that's the only thing.
Hold out for the Bolo book, guys. Hold out.
Yeah. Wait for that one.
I'll give some away once it's done. I'll buy some and give it away. Don't worry. So a lot of people are in the chat. They said they're now motivated. Where do they start? Sarah, you can catch up later.
Awesome.
Kevin says he can color a book. Yeah, that's about my extent. Actually, you know what? God, I hate the guy. I don't even want to say his name on here, but I don't hate him. Let me get that right. I don't like him. Ty Lopez drives me nuts, but he says he reads a book a day. The guy's smart. Don't get me wrong. The guy is super smart. He's like genius level, but I don't like some of his tactics. Anyways, I do read a lot of books. So sitting in my nightstand right now is the Warren Commission book on the JFK assassination. It's like 800 pages. I've read it like 8 times. Not even kidding. The Shark Tank books, I have 3 of them. I have Robert Herjavec, I have Mr. Wonderful, and I have Damon.
Wow.
So I've read all 3 of those. I have the Golden Pawn Silver Shop from Rick Harrison. I have the Ultimate Guide to Advertising with the guy with the straight jacket. I can't remember his name now, but I've read that one recently. All business type books, really. And I do read books. The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is
love it. Wait,
it.
Hold on. What's the number one? Since you're a fan of that, what's the number one item, the best thing to have, the most useful to have in the galaxy at all times? I tell my kids this all the time.
Oh, hold on. This might be a giveaway. If somebody can guess this in the chat, I will give them 1 month in the VIP group. The number one item, it's easy for me, but the number one item to have in the galaxy, according to the Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I've seen the movie. The movie wasn't impressive. Did you see the movie?
No, I love the books, though.
You didn't see the movie?
No.
Ooh. So if somebody can guess it, the first person that guesses it will get a month in the VIP group. It's kind of easy.
I think Kathy got it.
Oh, did Kathy get it? Hold on, I missed it. Hold on. Where'd she get it? A towel. Yeah. Does anyone know why it's a towel? Does somebody tell? Anyways, if you haven't read or seen the number one, the Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, please watch it. It has the best opening to any book I've ever read or movie I've seen in my life. The movie's not that great, but the book's pretty good. If you haven't, please do yourself a favor. The movie sucked. Yeah, the movie was okay. I didn't think.
I'm glad I didn't watch it then.
It was all right. I mean, it was on a 1 to 10. I give it like a 5.5 or 6. So the book's much better. It's big. It's a big book. Was that like 600 pages or something?
Well, yeah, but it's a combination of a lot of smaller books.
It is. It's smaller stories inside of it. Yeah. The opening. Read the opening like 10 pages about him blocking his house from being destroyed. You'll be hooked.
Right.
You'll
exactly. be box.
Anyways, Kathy, you're going to get a month in the VIP. Email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I'll hook you up. I love doing little trivia. So.
Hey, I love Kathy. Kathy, I helped hook you up too, Kathy.
Yeah, just email me and I'll pass you along, Kathy. I'll make sure you get taken care of. Food. Candace said food. If it was me in my galaxy, the number one answer would be food. I assure you. There's no doubt about it. So anybody else that's watching this later, we're going to let Dom run out of here soon. He's got like a schedule that's ridiculous. So his YouTube channel's below. When you watch this later, his Facebook group will also be below. I'm going to link it in like 5 minutes as soon as the video is over. His Instagram is primetime treasure, singular, __, prime_time_treasure. treasure. I'll put the @ underneath here too. It won't take you to his Instagram, but just type or copy and paste that into Instagram and you'll have it. Even old folks can do YouTube. Dom's not that old. What are you, like 32, 34?
No, actually, that should be another giveaway if someone could guess my age.
Somebody know Dom's. What are you giving them? What are you giving them if they guess your age?
I don't know.
He'll give you his medical books.
Yeah, right. No, 43.
43.
Yep.
I'm not far behind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, see, this is why I can't start the YouTube video without there being noise in the background. It starts to happen when you get older, Casey.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you start being like your dad who can't find the right buttons on the remote control, and you start hitting everything.
Well, listen,
wrong.
you got a long way to go. My dad will be 63 this year. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got a long.
My dad.
I'm 33. My parents waited till they were 30 to have me. I have a lot of people don't know this. I have a brother that's 10 years older than me. So, he's going to be 43 and he just turned 43 and I'm 33. So yeah, my parents are 63. So you got a long way to go, brother. Long way to go.
Well, but even though we're 10 years apart, I still feel like we're like brothers from another mother.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like a lot, it's weird. A lot of the people I connect with, like Wade, I think is a little older than me. My friend Dave, Drive Time with Dave is 15 years older than me. He's going to be 48. I'm making friends with people that are older than me in order to prepare me for when I get there.
You know what I said the other day? I said it doesn't matter how old you are in a number. It matters how old you are in your mind. Just, you know, how you think. So that's the key.
Yep. So that is a good way to end it, actually. As much as we preach to you guys to get stuff done, don't age yourself early. You know, work hard, get stuff done, manage your time, make the most of your time. Make the most of relaxing and having fun and enjoying the money, enjoying the families that most of you have. Dom has kids. You guys, most of you have kids. I don't, but eventually I will. And so I'm gonna learn that lesson. I'm sure I'll learn it quick. So in the meantime, that's our little presentation for you guys. And please go check out Dom. I say this normally, like go subscribe or join the group or whatever, but I'm really telling you guys, go do it. Thank me later. Go subscribe, and after this video, go join the YouTube group. He's over 4,000 people, so I'm sure there's tons of people in there to answer your questions. My group is awesome. Everyone knows my group. Whatever, I'm sure everyone's a member of it, but go expand your knowledge. I don't belong to one group. I belong to 20 for a reason, so go do it. And I'm going to check. I'm going to check his numbers, and if you guys didn't go subscribe and join his group, next time we're live and y'all are in here, I'm going to give you a hard time, so just remember that. Other than that, that's what I got for you guys. It was wonderful. I love Dom. We talk all the time. He messages me. He's welcome back anytime. And if you guys leave a lot of likes, I'll have him back before the end of the year, before the end of fourth quarter again.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey. I really appreciate the time.
No worries. And I also told Dom soon, maybe before the end of this year, I'll jump over to his channel and I'll make all of you go over there to watch it. So
that'd be great.
Yeah, like button, guys. Enjoy your evening. I will be back live tomorrow night during my normally regularly scheduled programming, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We did this special for Dom because this was the best night for us. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the chat and being here on a Wednesday. We'll see you guys next time, and make sure you do go over to his channel and watch some videos, binge watch them. And until next time, Dom, say goodbye to everybody. And
thanks so much, everyone. I really appreciate everyone coming over. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yeah,
Casey.
thanks, guys, so much. We'll see you next time. Good night. Good sales, like Jason from Prof would tell you, and hit that like button. Adios.